season opener against the Smoky Mountain Mustangs. At this time, if you would, please stand and direct your attention to the flag on the wall as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Now introducing the starting lineup for both squads, starting with the visitor from Silva, the Smoky Mountain Lady Mustangs. Number 1, Zelia Spencer. Number 11, Greenlee Flynn. Number 15, Trandy Littlejohn. Number 25, Aiden Nicholson. And number 44, Allie Fortner. And now, Robbinsville, let's hear some noise for your home standing Lady Knights. A senior from East Buffalo, number 4, Desta Trammell. A freshman from Swain County, number 11, Surrey Waddy. A sophomore from Carpenter Hollow, number 23, Liz Carpenter. A senior from the bottom end of High Splendor, number 24, Kinsley Phillips. And a junior from West Buffalo, number 44, Aubrey Wachacha.
Nice, man.
Fans, it's a rocking atmosphere here at Robbinsville High School as we welcome you back to the Gramstar Sports Network. We've been off the air for several weeks, but believe it or not, there is November basketball taking place in Graham County tonight. Robbinsville Smoky Mountain varsity action on tap. Kevin Hensley and Montana Buchanan welcome you to tonight's telecast. And of course, fans, we are your season-long source for Robbinsville streaming athletics all season long and beyond. Smoky Mountain has already played some games this year, and they are 2-0. And of course, the Lady Knights are entering the first foray of the season here on November 30th. It's a Wednesday night, and it is packed tonight here in the gym. Winning tip goes to the Mustangs, and we are underway. Smoky Mountain wins the opening tip here tonight. Liz Carpenter playing close defense on Greenlee Flynn on the perimeter, as the Mustangs being very cautious here in the early going with trying to penetrate the paint. Good defense outside. Carpenter eventually bumps Greenlee Flynn, as inadvertent as it may be. That is the first foul of the game, and it comes at the 7:35 mark here in the first quarter. Not a shooting foul, so it'll be inbounded by the Mustangs. Flynn with the ball. Inside, double team effort, and they are going to call that one. They're actually going to call it a travel. Flynn will turn it over, and that will, of course, make it Robbinsville basketball. Here is your senior point guard, Desta Trammell, bringing the ball up the floor. Good to have you with us here on the Gramstar Sports Network. Very privileged to be bringing you Lady Knights and Black Knights action on tap next. Surrey Waddy from way outside drains a three, and that's the first points of the season as a freshman shooting guard from Swain County. Now, of course, very much at home here in Robbinsville. So Waddy with a tray to get things underway here tonight. Inbounded to Trammell, bounces it to Kinsley Phillips on the side, and back into the middle goes Desta Trammell. Pass again. Trammell will feed it this time from Waddy, and the two are working together well so far. An assist and a three, and one as well for Surrey Waddy on both sides of that stat. 6-0 Lady Knights here in the early going. And that is going to be a travel. Number 44, that's Allie Fortner for the Mustangs. Lady Knights methodical at the moment themselves. Don't want to make any mistakes here in the early going. Mustangs have started off hot. How about a pass inside for a long two from Kinsley Phillips, another senior that has grown up playing alongside Desta Trammell. Those two lifelong friends. And the chemistry on the court hard to deny. It is 8-0 Robbinsville here in the early going. Trammell already with 2 assists in the ball game. And whistle blows, foul will be called. And I think they're going to call it on Aubrey Wachacha, her first. That one inside. Ball back in bounds. Your point guard, Azalea Spencer, number 1. Passes it inside to Aiden Nicholson, but it is going to be a travel. Turns it back over to Robbinsville. Smoky Mountain still trying to get on the scoreboard. 8-0 here in the opener. And that one trickles out of bounds. Kinsley Phillips could not reel it back. So that will turn it back over to our friends from Silva. Whether you're a Mustang or a Knight, we are very privileged to have you with us for tonight's telecast. And a steal will interrupt the proceedings. Surrey Waddy doing all she can to save the effort, but it's another turnover and right back at it. Mustangs recover nicely after that hiccup. 8-0 with 5:11 to go here in the first quarter. Heavy pressure on the outside. Trammell steals it again. That's 2 tonight for the senior. And how about an Azalea Spencer steal as well? Ball gets loose. Spencer with plenty of time. Trammell took a hard bump back here off camera. And wide open inside the paint is Allie Fortner. She'll get the Mustangs on the board. And a shooting foul to be applied. I believe that was Wachacha again. It was. That's already her second foul of the game. And a pair of bigs clash inside. Makes it 8-2. Wachacha's second foul. She's going to already have to leave the game a little earlier than she wanted to, of course. Fortner will miss her first of 2. And she makes the second, so that's 3 points for Fortner. She's had a chance at a 4-point play, but nothing doing. And it will be Mustangs basketball at half court. Number 25 jogs over. That's Aiden Nicholson for the Mustangs. And right underneath us here, Trinity Littlejohn with the ball. Down the right side, action slowed down a little bit from the frantic pace in the early going. Robbinsville started this one on an 8-0 run. Mustangs just cracked the scoreboard. And Liz Carpenter is going to be called for a nice little body check. That's her second foul. So Robbinsville, with their 2 bigs on the floor, have already chalked up 4 fouls here in the first 3.5 minutes of regulation. Mustangs ball again. Flynn will feed it back in eventually. Abby Ware trying to guard her. Freshman on the Lady Knights. Fayla Welch inside now, giving Wachacha some relief. 2 points for Spencer, and that makes it 8-5. 4:15 to go here in the opening stanza. Ball goes loose. Last touched by the Mustangs. We will recap JV action as soon as we get a chance. We're in a little bit of a time crunch tonight. Couldn't get everything put together till just before we got on the air. We appreciate all of you great fans tuning in with us nonetheless as Phillips uses the backboard, but hey, whatever works. 10-5, Kinsley Phillips already now with 4 points this evening, and a timeout called by the Mustangs. 4:04 to go here in the first quarter. 10-5 Robbinsville. Welcome back, fans, to Robbinsville High School. You're in the right place for the Knights opener tonight against the Smoky Mountain Mustangs. Good to have you with us on the Graham Star Sports Network, your exclusive home for Robbinsville athletics, and we are streaming it all season long and beyond. Long pass, a little bit of trouble. Smoky Mountain cleans it up. Spencer will reset at the top of the key. Lady Knights coming into this one after falling in the second round of the playoffs last year. 2 years ago, winning the Smoky Mountain Conference Championship and advancing to the Elite Eight as Dustin Trammell comes up with steal number 3. Quick feed to Kinsley Phillips. Shirks out. Flynn drops it in for a bucket. Those two are working in sync at the moment. That's 6 points already for Kinsley Grace. Another steal. Trammell's all over the court. And she'll get a foul after her third steal, I beg your pardon, of the ball game. And the foul is called on Spencer. That will be her first. And the first one for Smoky Mountain here tonight, as a matter of fact. Robbinsville already with 4 team fouls. And we'll see what Trammell can do here. Makes her first. Now, didn't want to jinx anything, but Dustin Trammell, of course, just went to 60 consecutive free throws. That is a state record here in North Carolina, and with each one she makes moving forward, she'll add to it. There's 61. Trammell a perfect 2 for 2 at the foul line. 3:12 to go. 14-5 Robbinsville against the Mustangs. And that ball goes awry. Possession, Lady Knights. Phillips quickly inbounds it. You wouldn't know it's the first game of the season, fans. Conditioning is really showing through early for the Lady Knights. Phillips on the outside under some double and even triple team pressure if you'll have it. And Trammell pushed out. And that's a good call. Trendy Littlejohn kind of bullied Trammell out of bounds there. And the foul will be the second one for the Mustangs here tonight. Comes with 2:48 to go in the first quarter. Trammell feeds it to Phillips on the right side. Inside to Abby Ware. Back outside to Trammell. Wide open for 3. And she drains it. That's to Trammell with a three-pointer. Makes it 17-5. So, fans, we are very appreciative of all of you tuning in with us here on the Graham Star Sports Network. We stream 5 varsity sports for Robbinsville: football, volleyball, basketball, baseball, and softball coming your way in the spring. We stream as often as we can. Waddy eventually gets the ball back up to court to Kinsley Phillips. Here's Trammell again, and that one's going to bounce off, rebounded by Abby Ware. Double team pressure. Ball stripped away by Trinity Littlejohn. And the action is very fast-paced here in the opening quarter. Feed outside to Littlejohn for 3. Off the rim. Trammell touched it last. It'll stay Mustangs basketball. Don't forget, fans, as we mentioned, we will have the Varsity Boys game right after this one. Stay with us here on the Graham Star Sports Network. We would like to thank our season-long sponsors while we have a moment. Our friends at Blevins Insurance and Blevins Electric, helping make these telecasts possible for all of you great White Knight fans, as well as our friends, with Lovin Contracting and Coy Adams Timber Company, all chipping in for the cause along the way. We appreciate everything they do to help support our efforts. Abby Ware was charged with that foul. That's her first of the game. And the ball goes back out. And it's another Smoky Mountain inbound. 17-5 here in the first quarter. Robbinsville really dictating the pace here in the early going. It's been mostly fast. A few pauses here and there, as you're seeing right now. Pass, Spencer feeds it low, and it's going to be intercepted by Surrey Waddy. Trammell inside, misses it. Fayla Welch with the putback, and it's going to be off and last touched by Robbinsville. And 52 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Waddy with 2 steals, an assist, and a three-pointer tonight. And all Robbinsville here in the early going. Lady Knights getting a lot of turnovers and cashing in most of the time so far. The feed outside, three-pointer will bounce off the rim. Flynn pulls it back and draws a foul. I don't know who they're going to bring that up on just yet. It is going to be Katie Lynn Gross. That's her first of the game. She's in relief as well at the 37-second mark here in the first quarter. And Flynn will make her first of 2. And goes 2 for 2. Flynn, another spectacular athlete, multi-sport superstar for the Lady Mustangs. Anytime you have to face Smoky Mountain, you're going to be facing a very, very good competitor in Greenlee Flynn. 28 seconds to go, 17-7. Robbinsville still with the advantage. Feed inside, Flynn again for 2. And Ware reaches over the back, and they may ring her up for that. Flynn may go back to the foul line again. Let's see who they charge it to. The goals are raised, and right at our camera angle, we cannot see the scoreboard unless we're on our tippy toes. I'm 6 foot tall. I got it updated just yet. It is going to be Abby Ware charged. Foul number 2 for Miss Ware. 17-7 with 17 seconds. Robbinsville already in the bonus. Fayla Welch tried her darndest to fight that one out. Good effort. It's off. 14 seconds to go. Already in the bonus. Smoky Mountain has already been charged with just 2 fouls. Robbinsville with 7. Feed back inside. How about a three-point shot? And rebounded. Triple team effort inside. Nothing doing. Flynn is just stretching over everybody right now. Ware fighting with everything she's got. And it's dropped to the floor. Ball goes out. It will be an inbound for Robbinsville with 3.8 to go here in the first quarter. And they're going to use all the time they can. Spencer's going to apply some three-quarter court pressure. Trammell with a floater at the buzzer. Beautiful shot. And that'll drop in. 19-7 Robbinsville as we end the first quarter. Back in just a moment on the Graham Star Sports Network. 19-7 Robbinsville. Welcome back to Graham County, North Carolina, the hidden jewel of Western North Carolina. Good to have you with us on the Graham Star Sports Network. Kevin Hensley and Montana Buchanan bringing you tonight's telecast of Robbinsville varsity basketball. This is our first of many this season. As we were saying, fans, during the first quarter, we will stream as much as we can. Sometimes when we go to away games, we lose our broadcasting rights. That's only because some of the host schools can overrule and not allow us to stream. We're kind of at their mercy during the regular season. Inbounded to Abby Ware. And rebounded by Flynn, but a foul is going to be called on Fayla Welch. Over the back foul on the rebound effort. It's actually going to be her first of the evening. And the 8th for Robbinsville. And since it's the bonus, Flynn will visit the line once again. Misses her first one. Welch with a hard fought rebound. Can't get loose. Flynn intercepts it. Pass across the paint. Shot off. Ware with the rebound. And Robbinsville back up the floor they go. Still in full control at the moment. 12-point lead. Phillips for three off of the travel pass. A little wide. Welch with the putback. Rolls out. And Welch still fighting as hard as she can. And back up the floor go the Lady Mustangs. There's Flynn inside. Fleet outside to Elia Voss for three. Mustangs not doing too well on the perimeter so far. Flynn gives up, chunks it outside to Becca Corona-Smith. Inside she goes and gets a bucket. And that's her first of the game. And it trims Robbinsville's lead to 10. Still now by Corona-Smith. Whistle blows. And they're going to call infraction on Miss Smith, and that will be the end of that transition. And Sariwadi with another steal. Feeds it up. Nothing doing. Flynn is going to be tough in the paint all night. Showing it right now. She's got a height advantage at most of the players on the floor. Can't really do much with. 6:29 to go here in the first quarter. Feed outside. Feed inside to Flynn. Why not? Rebounded by Waddy. Stolen right back by Nicholson. She'll get the putback. Styles to Corona-Smith, who's going to try for three. And she'll air mail it. That will be the end of the run. They're going to say a Robbinsville player tipped the ball. I guess that might have been Abby Ware was the only one in the vicinity. I'm not sure how that happened, but nonetheless, onward we go. Flynn will put up two. She leads the team right now with 6 of the Mustangs' 11 points here in the first half. Robbinsville scoreless so far in this quarter. A 4-0 start for the Mustangs. Trammell inside, can't finish it. Steals it back from Spencer's rebound. Mad tussle. Trammell bumped hard in the face. And that draws the ire of some of the fans here in Graham County. Trammell very composed. Make sure she's okay. And they're in fact going to call a technical, I believe. And they are. That's going to be a technical on Aiden Nicholson for the Mustangs. Comes with 5:53 to go here in the first half. Trammell makes her first. There's one thing you can count on. Trammell at the line is a good spot to be in. Trammell 2 for 2. 21-11 Lady Knights. And a substitution coming for the Mustangs. Kaylin Taquiti, excuse me if I got that wrong. And Lucas Ford in response will call a timeout, full 60 seconds. We'll pause with him here on the Gramstar Sports Network. 21-11 in favor of the homestanding Lady Knights. Welcome back to Robbinsville High School. Here in Graham County, North Carolina, senior Kinsley Phillips, a preeminent shooting guard for the Lady Knights, jogs in to toss it in. And Surrey Waddy, under some defensive pressure, will reel it in. Gets across half court and is outclassed immediately. How about a breakaway? Rolls it right in off her fingertips. That's Aliyah Voss with her first bucket of the night. 21-13 now. Robbinsville still with the 8-point advantage. Hard fouls. Waddy with a collision there. And not sure what the call was. And I called a jump ball there. Interesting. Turns it over to the Mustangs. High feed to the corner. Back out. Spencer will reset things. Quick pass to Queedy. Pass up. Three-pointer is drained. Corona Smith finally hits one outside. That may be the spark that's needed. Suddenly the Mustangs are down by 5. And a lot of moving parts right there. Foul will be called on Surrey Waddy. That's Waddy's first foul of the ball game. Comes with 4:58 left here in the half. And to the line to shoot is going to be Miss Voss. And she makes her first of 2. It is a bonus shot, is what we thought. Robbinsville now with 9 team fouls. And don't look now. Momentum shifting quickly. Mustangs down by 4. They make this. It'll be a 3-point ball game. And it's in all net for Miss Voss. And it is an 11-2 start to the second quarter for the Smoky Mountain Mustangs. Kinsley Phillips breaks around, feed to Waddy. Pass to Trammell. Inside, no fear, floater. And she'll drop the bucket. And that gives Robbinsville just a little bit of breathing room, a 2-possession game again. Hard foul down here on the floor. Carpenter slides, and despite her effort, is going to get charged with what I believe will be her 3rd foul of the ball game already. And that's trouble here in the first half. If you're Lucas Ford, and that's one of your starters out there, one of your power forwards inside, she'll step out for Miss Katie Lynn Gross. Checks in for her. 4:34 to go. 1 of 2. Phillips with the rebound. And tries to go coast to coast. Nothing doing. Katie Lynn Gross with the rebound. Quick feed to Trammell. Drops in eventually. 2 more for Desta Trammell. And give the assist to freshman Katie Lynn Gross. Shot from outside. Waddy wins the battle. Robbinsville basketball. Trammell across the court. Feed last second to Katie Lynn inside. And there's the first varsity points of Katie Lynn Gross's career. Good to see that. Give the assist to Trammell. That's her 3rd of the ball game. And broke it up inside. Abby Ware and Katie Lynn Gross tag teaming the ball. The winning infraction will be on Miss Gross. I believe, if I'm counting correctly, that's her 2nd foul here in the first half. Foul count be that what it may. A little staggered at the moment. Robbinsville's already in double bonus. Smoky Mountain with just 4. Corona Smith makes her first of 2. And it is a a 7-point ball game at the moment. Off the rim, 1-2. Quick rebound. Quick fling. Flynn. Phillips fighting. Flies to the floor, but a junk ball is called. What effort. Good to see it. Lady Knights all business here tonight. Coming up, fans, at halftime, we will sit here and crunch some numbers from your JV games. I can tell you for sure that Smoky Mountain won big in the girls game, and the JV boys game went down to the wire. Smoky Mountain did pick up the victory. We'll break down some stats and final scores for you during the break. Ball airmailed. Abby Ware with a good effort, but can't time her jump just right. 3:21 to go, and it's back to the Mustangs basketball. Little John gets it to number 2. That's Voss. And Voss took a little stutter step, and they say she traveled. Turnover to Robbinsville. Phillips to Trammell. Back in front of her bench. Lady Knights dress out 12 here tonight. They have not even got to touch on the 5th quarter rule that is really going to pay dividends for high school basketball here in North Carolina, especially for the smaller classifications. Trammell's drive in will result in a foul. Greenlee Flynn rung up on the infraction. The 5 quarter rule, of course, fans, any player can play 5 quarters on a game day now instead of just 4. And that helps out a lot when you can pull up some JV bodies that are good reserves. Trammell's shot misses, and that actually will break her streak. Check on that real quick. Trammell goes 1 of 2. And after 63 consecutive foul shots made, Desta Trammell is no longer on a streak. But she is the high scorer tonight for Robbinsville nonetheless. Trammell under pressure, double, triple team, foul called. And I believe that is going to be on Aiden Nicholson, number 25. Foul count starting to even out just a little bit. 3-pointer for Trammell off the inbound, off the side of the rim. Phillips chases it down, tries to inbound it, but cannot get it done in time. Ball flies out of bounds. Also gave you some halftime stats on this game so far. It passes all around. Chunk from the 3-pointer by Tequiti, rebounded by Nicholson. And she's looking for a long heave inside again. Feed over to Flynn. Tequiti sits back up. Good movement by the Mustangs. Nicholson rebound. Can't hold on to the ball. And it's going to be a jump ball. Possession will stay with the Mustangs. Appreciate all of you great fans tuning in. If you're just joining us, this is the Graham Star Sports Network. We have broadcast football and volleyball already this year, and we look forward to doing it for many years to come, along with baseball and softball. Abby Ware with the steal as the action just refuses to let up. How about a nice feed from Phillips to Waddy, but it comes up short. Fayla Welch fighting as hard as she can for that ball, and they're going to give the foul to Tequiti for the Mustangs. Welch with 3 rebounds tonight. And now bonus time for Robbinsville means Fayla Welch will get a shot at it. She's the 3rd and final senior on this squad. And she misses her first. Ware pulls it down though. Good board. Put back. 30-20. 1:51 to go. Smoky Mountain trying to make some smart passes here. Crucial moment in the game. Down by 10 again. Steal. Abby Ware will come up with it after it's all said and done. Kind of deflected off of Welch's shoulder. And the Mustangs trying to steal the ball and do so. And with nobody there to stop Taquiti, she's going to drop in a bucket. That'll make it an 8-point ball game with 1:15 to go in the half. Phillips and Ware got a little tangled. Ball goes out. Robbinsville basketball. Trammell back in quickly after a quick breather. As you see, head coach Lucas Ford giving some quick instruction to the departing Abby Ware. Back up the floor. Voss running point at the moment for the Mustangs. As we dip under the 1 second mark, or excuse me, the 1 minute mark, I beg your pardon, here in the first half. Flynn inside, drops it. And Katie Lynn Gross is going to be called for her third foul in relief. Flynn completes the 3-point play. That makes a 5-point ball game. 30-25. Robbinsville, 50 seconds to go. Trammell will ease her way back up the court as well. Phillips from the outside. And rebounded by the Mustangs. Number 44, Ellie Fortner, one of the starters for the Mustangs tonight. Creative work by Littlejohn, just flails the ball up and draws a foul. And believe it or not, the infraction goes against Desta Trammell, a rare foul for the senior point guard with 30 seconds to go. And Littlejohn makes her first of two. Misses her second, rebounded by Surrey Waddy. And she's in trouble as the Mustangs have decided to press here in the latter part of the first half, second quarter, I should say. Trammell with some fancy footwork, quick dip to Welch. And interference by Flynn breaks that up, swatted out of bounds by Tuquette with 10 seconds to go. Phillips trying to find somebody open. Not a lot of time left to play with. Waddy will gladly scoop it up. Short time, 6 seconds to go. And that's trouble. Body checked by Voss. And that's a saving grace for Robbinsville. They're up by 4 at the moment. But anything will help going into the locker room. Not sure Waddy, in all fairness to her talents, a freshman, as we mentioned, from Swain County, a transfer in the offseason. Not sure she would have got free in time to get a shot off there. And she misses it. Fortner, short time for the Mustangs. Voss is going to have to fire it. She ain't going to fire it in time. And that will do it. 30-26. Robbinsville leads Smoky Mountain in a tight one here after a 19-11 second quarter for the Mustangs. Robbinsville led 19-7 at the end of the first. Back in just a moment, fans. Don't you go away. We're in halftime. We'll come back with some final scores and stats from the junior varsity matchup, as well as halftime leaders for Robbinsville here on the Gramstar Sports Network. We've still got about 3.5 minutes left, fans, here in halftime. We want to give you some quick stats and some updates for all of you faithful Robbinsville or Smoky Mountain fans, whichever one of you are tuning in. Thank you. You're very welcome here at the Gramstar Sports Network anytime for Robbinsville Athletics. Here tonight in the varsity matchup you're watching right now, Robbinsville leads Smoky Mountain 30-26 in this girls' clash. The boys will, of course, follow us here in the nightcap. At the break, though, Desta Trammell comes out with 15 points, 4 steals, and 3 assists. Kinsley Phillips with 6 points and 1 assist, with Surrey Waddy 3 points, 3 steals, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. That's your stat leaders for Robbinsville here in the varsity girls contest so far. And as we promised, fans, we've got a couple of updates from our junior varsity games that took place before we went live. Packed gymnasium, got to see some thrilling action in the closing seconds of the boys game right before we went on the air. It was a 51-47 Mustangs final, and that one came down to the wire. Dane Knott for Robbinsville, a freshman, comes up with a 24-point performance. Luke Lovin was the second in the points category. He scored 10 tonight for the Black Knights. The JV girls had a tough outing to begin the season. Game was a 12-9 advantage for Smoky Mountain at one point. And from there, the Lady Knights were shut down. 7 points was all they scored from that point on. Smoky Mountain continued on and eventually won 48-16. Leading scorer was someone we're watching right now in this varsity game, Abby Ware, who had 7 points for the JV Lady Knights. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes, about a minute and a half to go here in halftime. You're in the right place, fans, if you want to watch Robbinsville Athletics here on the Gramstar Sports Network. Last second instructions from somebody that knows what she's talking about. That young lady in the orange, pink, whichever flavor you want. Let's go with peach shirt. That's Cambry Anderson, now formerly Lovin, 1,000-point scorer in her career for Robbinsville. Just graduated a few years ago. Give some last second instruction to some of the players, including junior Aubrey Wachacha, you see on your left side of your screen, number 44. Wachacha in foul trouble already here tonight. We haven't seen much of her since the first quarter. Abby Ware also on the floor. She's already got 3 fouls. It's been a foul-heavy first half for Robbinsville, but they have led nonetheless. Never have coughed it up. It's 30-26 as we're set to begin here in the third quarter. Kinsley Phillips takes the feed. Trammell under pressure from Zalia Spencer, and we'll begin the second half of action here tonight. Good to have you with us. Welcome back to Robbinsville High School. Ball plucked away by Flynn. Corona Smith will eventually cough it up for good. Feed over to the corner. Trinity Littlejohn inside to Fortner. And senior Kinsley Phillips will break up the effort. Of course, it will stay Mustangs basketball nonetheless. Flynn kicks out. Here's Corona Smith for 2. Flat-footed. Nothing doing. Rebounded by freshman Abby Ware. Foul called. I believe a foul called. I'm going to say the ball ball bounced out. My apologies. No foul. My mistake. Passes all around. Trinity Littlejohn on the left side gets back to the top. Delia Spencer will now reset the Mustangs offense. Fortner and Wachacha had her hand up, but couldn't slow that one down. Fortner gets a bucket, and it is a 2-point game. Smoky Mountain always seems to be the favorite to open the season for Robbinsville. They've played them in their season opener 3 of the last 4 years here in Graham County. Jump ball called. Waddy had the rebound, but not for long. So I'll give her credit for it. That's her 3rd board of the night. She's got 3 steals, 3 rebounds, 3 points, and an assist. Inbounded to Aubrey Wachacha. Ware thought about it, changed her mind, drives in, and great maneuver there to pull off the foul. Fortner will get rung up for the foul. Comes with 6:50 to go here in the third quarter. That's actually Allie Fortner's first foul of the ball game as well. Ware makes her first. Still a 1-possession game, however. Two for two. Abby Ware makes it a 2-possession game now. 32-28 Robbinsville. Spencer inside 2. And nobody wants to rebound it except Kinsley Phillips. She'll come up with the stray bounce. Fouled immediately. And I believe that was on Corona Smith. It is. And believe it or not, that's her first foul of the game as well. Ware to Phillips. Inside feed goes outside to Ware. Back. Ware in trouble. Flynn's going to just take the ball away. Junk ball called. Good work. Turns it over to the Mustangs. Flynn a force inside. No doubt about that. 6:25 to go. Fans, if you are here in Robbinsville or in our surrounding area and you have not seen your latest copy of the Graham Star, there is a reason for that. A little bit late getting back from the press today, so we have them. And I promise you, first thing in the morning, we're going to be heading to all of our local stops. If you want to grab this week's edition of the Graham Star, please do so. It'll be available on newsstands everywhere tomorrow morning. And we apologize for the delay. Turnover goes back to Robbinsville. Waddy and Phillips traded back and forth. Feed inside to Wachacha, but Flynn will grab it. And a tussle. Call it a collision. And it will end up being a foul called on Greenlee Flynn. Kinsley Phillips was all over that ball, and Flynn just collided with her. And you see the end result. Ware puts up a floater for 2. Rebounded by Fortner. Slow start here to the second half. It's a 2-2 split. Smoky Mountain with a bucket, and Robbinsville with a bucket. Fortner and Wachacha. How about Kinsley Phillips going up for the fight? On the junk ball. Fortner asking for a foul. And official Phil Presley's not having it. Fortner airs out her grievances nonetheless. Turnover to Robbinsville again. Trammell with the ball. We do still have track of Desta Trammell's career point total. And we will, in fact, give you the updated number after this game is over. Foul called on Spencer. That will be her second. Ware blocked hard by Flynn, but Robbinsville recovers it nicely. Waddy gets it back. Ware again. Feed high to Kinsley Grace. Puts it up inside. Nothing doing. Rebounded by Corona Smith. 5:02 to go here in the third quarter. Littlejohn from the corner 3. And it will be rebounded by Destiny Shea. Back up the floor. High feed. And there's an inadvertent. That is a foul. And Phillips went up for it. And I said inadvertent. I misspoke. But no doubt in my mind, Littlejohn just intentionally shoved Phillips as hard as she could. Didn't even call the foul. Holy smokes. Boy, Littlejohn getting away with a jailbreak there. Phillips shoved. And on will we play nonetheless. Flynn with the putback. That'll work. 2 for the Mustangs. 2-point ball game. 4:28 to go. Mustangs, as we mentioned, a slow start. It was a 19-7 first quarter for Robbinsville. And the Mustangs came back with a 19-11 second quarter. Foul called. Littlejohn gets a technical after mouthing off again to Phil Presley. And Littlejohn very upset. Another technical. We got a technical on the coach now for the Mustangs. So back-to-back tees. And Robbinsville will set up shop at the foul line for the next few minutes. And that, of course, will be a verbal warning. The coach will have to sit the rest of the game. If he's teed up again, he is history. Littlejohn with a technical. Coach with a technical. If I'm counting correctly, that is 3 technicals tonight for the Mustangs. And we're only midway through the third quarter. And if you want to send somebody to the line, how about someone that is literally 63 for her last 64 at the foul line in Desta Trammell? So we'll sort all that out. This is how it'll play out. There'll be 2 shots for Little John's infraction. Those are coming right now. Trammell, as expected, clears the first. And, of course, clears the second. Four 19 to go. And this will give Robbinsville a little bit of breathing room here. Trammell makes her third. And there you go, fans. How about 6 of 6 tonight on technicals? 36-30 is now the score. And Robbinsville inbound. Little John still in the game. I guess the technical was not called on the head coach because he's still standing. Must have been one of the assistants on the bench. My mistake. Waddy's three just flirted with the net, but eventually goes back out. Rebounded by the Mustangs. Greenlee Flynn gets it to her point guard, Zelia Spencer. Corona Smith drives in hard with Cha-Cha. Keeps her hands up. Ball out. Corona Smith steps over the line. Kinsley Phillips, number 24, will take the handoff. And Phillips didn't inbound it in time. Turnover to the Mustangs. Phillips couldn't get an open player that she wanted to chunk it to in the nick of time. And now Corona Smith back under the net. Flynn, feed. Corona Smith put back. That'll drop. How about Robbinsville already in the bonus? After we talked about the discrepancy in the first half on the foul count, the Mustangs have 7 fouls. Robbinsville has none. And Desta Trammell just keeps dropping buckets here tonight. There's 2 more for the senior guard. From way out on East Buffalo Circle. Fade back, Fortner for 2. Nothing doing. Little John comes up a little gimpy after that collision. And they're going to say, I believe they're going to say where it traveled on that. They did. And it'll be an inbound for Smith. And how about as clean a block as you're going to see. And somehow, some way, with Cha-Cha made contact, according to the officials. They were right there, not for us to argue one way or the other. 3:25 to go here in the third quarter. Robbinsville's first foul of tonight's game. Or, excuse me, here in the second half, I should say. And Zelia Spencer at the line misses her first. We do hope later this weekend, fans, in case you're here with us over on our YouTube channel, make sure you do one of 2 things. First, please click that subscribe button. You'll be notified anytime we upload a video. And we've got a massive library going back to the beginning of the pandemic with government meetings, community events, and, of course, Knights Athletics. The junk ball will once again turn it over. I believe it should be Robbinsville inbound now. Nope, it's staying with the Mustangs. My mistake. But after you click the subscribe button, check back with us this weekend as we look to release all of our telecasts of Robbinsville football over the weekend. But of course, always wait till the season's over to do so. How about a 3-pointer from Becca Corona Smith? And in the blink of an eye, the Mustangs have trimmed the deficit to 3. They've not led yet here tonight. Robbinsville started the game on an 8-0 sprint. Waddy off the side of the rim. And this being the first game of the season, timeout called by the Mustangs. This being the first game of the season, Of course, fans, conditioning will be a factor here in the second half. Mustangs with already 2 games under their belt. And a timeout call by the Mustangs. Back in just a moment on the Graham Star Sports Network. $38-35 in favor of the home standing Lady Knights. Welcome back to Robbinsville for tonight's season opener between the Black Knights and the visitors from Silva, Jackson County's pride, the Lady Mustangs. Verona Smith off the feed from Spencer. Fayla Welch comes down with her 4th rebound, but unfortunately gets a little rattled and will travel. Turnover back to the Mustangs. Smith will inbound. Close game. We appreciate you tuning in. Spencer in danger of a backcourt, but she's able to reel it in time. And don't forget, fans, yes, we'll be here for the Varsity boys, start to finish. Fortner back out to Smith. Feed over to Greenlee Flynn. Floater. A little too much on it. Rebound. And not sure if it'll be Welch or Abby Ware on the infraction. I believe it's going to be Miss Ware. And if so, that is foul number 4. No, I'm sorry. It's on Fayla Welch. My mistake. Not the fact that Welch had her hands up, but I'm just going to stop right there. Flynn to the line. First one is out. That is the second foul tonight for Fayla Welch. Picked up Miss Welch during last year's offseason, formerly of Cherokee. Flynn 1 of 2. And we're back to a 2-point ball game. Here's Desta Trammell attempting to break Spencer's one-on-one matchup. Trammell just going to take a 3. Almost gets it. Kinsley Phillips pulls down the board. Back to Trammell. Travel called on Destiny Shea. I mean, it's not a travel to Hayesville, Kansas or anything like that, but it was a travel nonetheless. And onward we go. Feed to Fortner. Good play, but she's not able to finish the shot. And Liz Carpenter's now back in the game. Fighting with Greenlee Flynn over possession. Ball out. Last touched by the Mustangs. Sari Waddy will check in for Abby Ware. Still a couple of bodies on the bench that we have not seen tonight. Anna York, Olivia Lewis, and Anna Williams have not checked in for Robbinsville so far, but they're there at Coach Lucas Forrest's disposal. Ford entering his 7th year over the Lady Knights program. As we mentioned, Lady Knights made it to the sectional finals in 2020. That was the COVID season, of course. And sectional finals, to transcribe that, is the Elite 8 of the state playoffs. And unfortunately fell to Murphy here at home in a 49-37 final. 45-37 final. Big foul on the floor. Greenlee Flynn getting a little heated with Fayla Welch and Liz Carpenter. The bigs battling. And no need for all that. How about Desta Trammell just scooping it up and taking control nonetheless. Liz Carpenter wide open for a layup. And she drains it, and that brings the fans to their feet here in Robbinsville. Carpenter gets her first points of the season. Steal and an assist for Desta Trammell. Rebound, Flynn, back over. Can't get it. Fayla Welch with rebound number 5. Hands it off to the speedy Trammell. Carpenter again. Can't finish it. Waddy comes in to clean it up. Thank you very much. And Robbinsville brings the fans to life here in the final few seconds of this quarter. 42-36 with 12 to go. And Fortner pushes Welch inside the paint. And you can't do that. Offensive foul will end the possession. That'll be a turnover to the Mustangs with from the Mustangs to the Knights with 9.2 to go here in the third quarter. High look. Phillips not liking her views. Finally finds Waddy open on the right side. 6 seconds to go. Trammell with a long 3, and it'll bounce off the rim. And that'll be Tequette. Kind of halfway puts the ball up. Nothing doing. Into the third, fans. Robbinsville is pulled away with a 42-36 lead on the Graham Star Sports Network. 42-36 Robbinsville. Welcome back to Graham County, North Carolina for tonight's telecast of Knights basketball. Surrey Waddy, high fee. Kinsley Phillips has to reel it down, and her athleticism shown there. How about a 3 for Waddy? Nothing doing. Rebounded by Flynn. Quick break by Tequette. She'll drive in. Smacked away by Kinsley Grace, and that'll be a steal. Her speedy defense is second to none here in the Smoky Mountain Conference, and well, statewide really. 7:29 to go in the ball game. Knights lead by 6. Again, fans, our season-long sponsor is Blevins Insurance, Blevins Electric, located off Rodney Orr Bypass. Give them a call for all of your insurance needs, as well as our friends at Loving Contracting and Coy Adams Timber Company. I want to thank all of those businesses for helping sponsor our efforts. If you're interested in coming aboard, give us a call at the Graham Store office, 828-479-3383. 7:14 left, and the offensive foul turns it over to Smoky Mountain. Spencer flies up the floor, feeds it to Flynn. Around the world she goes. And Fortner will come up with a foul. Surrey Waddy, the freshman, and the only one on the floor right now for Robbinsville, for that matter, charged with, I believe, her second foul of the game, and it is. 7:03 to go. Feed in straight to Voss, but she'll come up empty. Flynn gets the board. And a rebound again. Aubrey Wachacha at the 6:58 mark is rung up for, I believe, her 4th infraction, and it is. Well, the Mustangs have a great inside presence with that double team of Flynn and Fortner. You got athleticism and size. That's tough to overcome. Rebound, tough battle. Spencer rips it away from Kinsley Grace. Trammell is called for another foul, and most of the fans here kind of chuckle over that. I can confirm, however, that her father to my left, not very happy at the moment with that turn of events. Trammell again, not one to foul often. Rebounded by Flynn. Wachacha gets it. And now Flynn's going to be called, as we're getting a little foul crazy here in the last quarter of tonight's game. Believe it or not, fans, that is Miss Wachacha's first rebound of the night. And in the bonus, she'll get a chance to go to the foul line. Scoreless fourth quarter so far. Keeping a box score at home, it's 7-19-10 so far for Smoky Mountain. 19-11-12 for Robbinsville in the first 3 quarters. Chacha misses her first. That's all she'll get, Miss Fortner. Will rebound the bonus shot. And effort made by Tequette, but it comes up empty. Rebounded by Desta Trammell. Feed inside. Good work by Phillips. Put back for Liz. Carpenter spins in Two more for the sophomore center, Liz Carpenter. Knights stacked in a 2-2-1, 1-2-2, however you want to look at it at the moment. Spreading up a little bit, got to do what you got to do. Inside feed. Carpenter takes a bump. Fortner dives for it. And it's going to take not one but two Lady Knights to grab the jump ball possession. Stays with the Mustangs. Spencer takes the inbound. She'll try to get something set up here. Fortner. Nothing doing. Flynn. Boss will travel. That may be the first air travel in basketball history, but nonetheless, it was what it was. Trammell with the ball. Good to see her grandmother, Beverly, with us in attendance tonight. Miss Beverly overcoming a bout of cancer. Sweet lady, and very good to see her out and about here in the season opener. Double dribble called on Destiny Trammell. I was going to say Destiny. Sorry about that. 5:11 left. Doesn't take much psychology to figure out what happened there. Still a slow quarter. 2-0 split. Robbinsville has dropped a bucket. Kinsley Phillips will take that gift. And she'll fit it over to her classmate, lifelong friend, Desta Trammell, flips it up. What great awareness to float that ball in for two. And Kinsley Phillips really showing her team chemistry and her unselfishness. More than willing to just feed it over to her teammate. Smoky Mountain Mustangs call a timeout. They got to figure out what in the world's going on. It's getting late. And Robbinsville leads by 10. .434 left. 46-36 Robbinsville. Good to have you with us on the Graham Star Sports Network. Don't go away, fans. Up next, it'll be Knights, Mustangs, Varsity Boys action. Live and in living color. Rebound for Kinsley Phillips. Boy, the Mustangs just not having good luck on shots here in the fourth quarter. And the bucket made. I believe that was Miss Abby Ware on the basket. And that was going to drop out of bounds. Possession goes back to Robbinsville. Lady Knights on a 6-0 run here in the fourth quarter. They started the game on a 19-7 sprint. They have not once relinquished the lead. Drive, feed low to Fayla Welch. Bucket is in for the senior. Fayla Welch give the assist to Desta Trammell. Welch on the scorebook now. 5 rebounds tonight, but 2 points as well. Here's Corona Smith. Phillips has broken it up not once but twice. She finally gets a steal, but of course she fell. And that will be a travel. I guess we're just going to ignore the fact that she got cross body blocked. Moving on. Floater from Littlejohn. Bounces out of bounds. Flynn mowed over Fayla Welch. She's a little slow to get up. Welch back in action after missing most of the volleyball season with a torn ACL. Of course, had reconstructive surgery. Got that all cleaned out. Cleared to play, I believe, the last 2 or 3 matches of the volleyball season. Basketball's her jam, as she'll put it. How about a feed outside to Waddy for 3? Rebounded by Flynn. 3:04 to go. Drive to Quetta is going to be fouled from behind. Despite the pleas of the senior Kinsley Phillips, she's going to get charged with it either way. And that is foul number 3 for Kinsley Grace. I want to check out a special Facebook page. Hint, hint. I would look up Making Dough. That's MAKIN apostrophe Dough. I would highly recommend it. We'll just put it that way. DeQuette misses her first. Second as well. Flynn right there to clean up the trash. And good work. 50-38. Mustangs on the board here in the fourth. Feed all the way down the floor to Abby Ware. And she drops a bucket. How about that long distance assist from Desta Trammell? And Ware slows down the pace. Great timing. She's going to do great things here at the varsity level in the years to come. That's one to watch if you're a Varsity Lady Knights basketball fan. A lot of action happening there. Trammell and Phillips went down in a heap thanks to the efforts of Miss Littlejohn. That is her 4th foul here tonight. 2:35 left in the ball game. 52-38. Desta Trammell at the line. Trammell misses her first. Boy, now that streak's been broken. She's missed 2 tonight. Good grief. Desta's got to get in the gym. She's getting a little off kilter there, Montana. I don't know what she's going to do. Can't have Desta Trammell missing foul shots. Not like she made 63 in a row and broke a state record or anything. 15-point lead now for Robbinsville. Foul under the basket. The foul right then was on Miss Fayla Welch. That is number 3. Comes with 2.5 minutes left in the ball game. DeQuette makes her first. Mustangs have dropped 3 points in this quarter. Robbinsville 11. Mustangs did prevail in the second quarter. They raced ahead to a 19-11 advantage, but Robbinsville, of course, still led at halftime. 30-26 as DeQuette goes 2 for 2. 53-40. Nobody there to stop Katie Lynn Gross. Surrey Waddy with the assist. And Gross with 4 points tonight, an assist and a rebound. 55-40, 2:10 left. DeQuette goes around the world. Fouled inside. They're going to give that to Abby Ware. Poor Abby Ware. I believe she's had 5. I believe that may be her 5th foul, if I'm not mistaken. It may be her 4th. Let's see what they put up on the scoreboard. Jason Postel keeping us right in tune tonight on the scoreboard. Well, I stand double corrected. It's only her 3rd. DeQuette misses her first. So I'll say it this way. Ware's got 3 fouls and really probably only has 1. But that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. And we've got blood on the floor. I think that's what the official just said. It's our friend Josh Hall, a Hiawassee Dam resident, the referee in the paint at the moment. DeQuette might have a little bit of a skin spot on her knee. And she's going to have to go in the locker room and swap out. Can't have it on the uniform either. And to take her place is going to be Voss for the second shot. And Voss misses it. Battle at the net. Another foul called. Flynn is bumped. It's going to be Kinsley Phillips rung up on the infraction. That's number 4. Well, this quarter started out foul heavy and kind of simmered down for a moment. And we're back at it again. I'm looking correctly here, fans. I believe all of Smoky Mountain's points here in the fourth quarter are from the charity stripe. 55-42 Robbinsville. 2:02 to go. Trammell kind of dance circles around Zalia Spencer. Still hasn't broken past her. Hey, there's no reason to do anything silly here. Knights are up by 13 with 1:48 to go. And they're going to play keep away. They can't do that much longer in North Carolina, though, as the 35-second shot clock will be incorporated into high school athletics here in North Carolina in the next few seasons. Spencer playing her close. Hey, it's still a competitive ball game. If you're a Mustang, you don't want to throw in the towel. 1:33 to go. Stranger things have happened. Well, Robbinsville is just going to play keep away. Feed over to Abby Ware. Back outside to Phillips. 1:15 to go. Both teams in the double bonus. Any foul from here on out is 2 shots. Gross coughs the ball up inside and close. Trendy Littlejohn gets the steal. Basket pass to Spencer. Mustang's got to try to make something happen. And Littlejohn hit her foot a little bit awkwardly. And that is not a good sign. Coming out a little awkwardly on her left foot, and we're not going to show that as the trainer for the Mustangs comes out on the floor. And Smallwood is the Robbinsville trainer. She's not here tonight. Over at the wrestling match, we have a wrestling match going on in town as well. One of those wonderful rivals from that Mountain 6 3A conference, Franklin, is in town. So if you're a Smoky Mountain fan, Franklin's up here wrestling Robbinsville at the moment in a duel over at the elementary school. And Littlejohn trotted off the court under a couple of adults' power, but now getting checked out. And unfortunately, you have to see a little bit of that over on the floor. She is in a lot of pain. You never want to see an athlete hurt, no matter which team they're playing for. John is in a lot of agony at the moment. 42 seconds left. Trammell feeds it across half court to Kinsley Phillips, who shirks around Greenlee Flynn. Ball spiked away. Phillips ain't having that. How about a feed across to Anna Williams in the game? And a foul called. And I believe the foul was on Greenlee Flynn. And it was a technical. My goodness, I hate to chuckle. The Mustangs have had 4 technicals here tonight. Kinsley Grace misses her first attempt. She makes her second. So Robbinsville 7 of 8 when they get a chance to go up there for a technical shot at the basket. And it is 42-56. Robbinsville looking to close it out. They have held the Smoky Mountain Mustangs to 6 points here in the fourth quarter, all from the foul line. I'm sure Lucas Ford will be very happy about that in the post-game analysis. And Robbinsville is just going to run the clock out as we dip under the 10-second mark. Don't forget, fans, up next, Varsity Boys action, and we'll crunch some numbers for you as soon as we can for final stat leaders for Robbinsville. This one's over. 56-42. Robbinsville picks up the season opening victory And as the Black Knights make their way on the floor and the Lady Knights shake hands with the Lady Mustangs, who drop to 2-1, we'll step aside, reset, and in a few minutes we'll be back with some analysis and, of course, our starting lineups and the tip-off for Varsity Boys here on the Gramstar Sports Network. Welcome back, fans, to Robbinsville. We're finally set to go with the Varsity Boys matchup. Good to have you with us on the Gramstar Sports Network. Kevin Hensley and the distinguished Montana Buchanan with you for tonight's telecast. Very privileged once again, as we always say, fans, to be bringing you Black Knights Athletics. Varsity Boys are going to end things for us tonight. Robbinsville wins the opening tip. And the opening shot will go awry. Rebound down the floor goes the Mustangs, number 12. That is Carson Seagraves making an impact. 2-0 Mustangs quickly here in the early going. Foul called. Foul called on, I believe, the Mustangs. It was on Jace Stillwell. His first of the game, obviously. Shope drives inside and a foul called. And oh my, we're seeing a pattern already on those fouls. Nothing wrong with that. Early going. A lot of excitement, of course, on the floor. That foul goes on Cameron Fowler for the Mustangs. And I think Nathaniel Shope had an accessory on his wrist that the officials are not a fan of. We can neither confirm nor deny that the gift was given to him by Haley Crisp, but moving right along past that, Shope makes his first, misses his second, rebounded immediately by Bryce Adams, and another foul. That's 2 fouls already on Cameron Fowler, fighting hard under the net here in the early going. And that's already 3 fouls on the Mustangs. And Bryce Adams, the sophomore, will make his first. And drains his second, so 2 for 2. And the Knights are back ahead, 3-2 here in the early going. Shot inside. Once again, that's Carson Seagraves on the bucket. And just like that, Smoky Mountain pulls back ahead. Brock Adams floats into the paint. Puts up a 2. Rebounded by Lane White. Quick pace as expected here in the early going. Just tuning in, fans, Lady Knights won 56-42. All crunch numbers at halftime. Quite frankly, I didn't have time in between to do it. My apologies. Carson Seagraves called for an offensive foul. Shope took a tumble, and it paid off. Here's Brock Adams, senior point guard for the Black Knights. Team dresses out 9. I've got a few pulled up from JV, but 9 are full-time varsity players. How about an assist for Xander Wachacha? And 2 more for Nathaniel Shope. A lot of talking. Brock Adams has enough of that and just steals it. Feed to Wachacha, nothing doing. Pump back for Bryce Adams is going to be good. And that fans will work. Another steal this time by Bo Rattler. Boy, that high tempo for Robbinsville doing some damage here in the early going. Steal and an assist. Brock Adams gets on the board. And I mean the blink of an eye, it's 9-4 Black Knights. And I'll slow the pace just a little bit. Foul under the basket before the shot was put up. I think they're going to call it on Nathaniel Shope. That will be his first of the game. 5:33 left to go here in the first quarter. Double team in the corner. Good work by the Knights, and the ball is coughed up out of bounds. Thank you very much. And Jay Stillwell, sophomore guard for the Mustangs, calls for a stack. It's broken. Immediate shot by Hari for three. Nothing doing. Rebounded by Seagraves. He's provided all the offense so far for the Mustangs. It's 9-6. Bo Rattler tries to come up with it. It's broken up. Last touch by Mr. Rattler, so it'll turn it over to Smoky Mountain. Dips under the 5-minute mark here in the first quarter. Floater put up, nothing doing. Rebounded by Nathaniel Shope. Bryce Adams tries it. Can't finish the shot. Ball coughed right back to Wachacha. Feed inside. Shope can't get it. Adams for two. Nothing doing. Shope fights for the board, but it ends up in the clutches of Custer Prigner, number 33. Foul called on Mr. Adams. Brock, if you will. We got to make sure we clarify that in this county especially. Brock and Bryce, yes, they are siblings. Keep track at home. Brock is the elder of the two. He's a senior. Bryce Adams is a sophomore. .421 to go. Feed in. Seagraves again. Rolls over the net. Rebounded by Bryce Adams. Break up the floor for Brock Adams. It rolls out. Rebounded by Seagraves. He's all over the place. Flying up the floor. Blows over Shope. And this time they're going to say Shope wasn't set. Seagraves with the bucket. So Shope got that call the first time. Not the second time. And he looked more set than he was the first time. I guess they wanted him to have a chair on the floor and just sitting down and hanging out. Not sure what more he could have done. But the three-point play is incomplete, and Bo Rattler takes the rebound. Fly up the floor from Wachacha. Last second feed to Brock Adams. Back outside. Foul called. (9-8) your score. Foul is called on Mr. Jace Stillwell for Smoky Mountain. 3:56 to go. Shot up by Bryce Adams. Can't finish it. Shope cleans it up. Nice work by Nathaniel Shope. 11-8. He's got 4 points already tonight. Shots up. And Shope just lets it go. Smart call. 2 rebounds, 4 points for Nathaniel Shope here in the early going. It's 11-8, Black Knights. And a shot put up. 2 points. Steal for Bryce Adams. And Robbinsville dictating the pace here in the early going. How about 3 for Alexander Wachacha. He's on the board. Smoky Mountain just trying to get their feet back under him. My goodness, Robbinsville just overwhelming them at every turn and circumstance here in the early going. Shot put up. Rebounded by Shope. Robbinsville still dictating the pace. Rebounded by the Mustangs, number 22. That's Lane White, one of the starters. Stolen again, Wachacha. And he puts up the bucket. (18-8). Robbinsville flying away here in the first quarter. And a hard bump derails the action. Foul's called on number 10. That is going to be Bryce Adams. But it was on the floor, so nothing doing. Action will roll on. Quick feed, almost deflected. 3 for Seagraves. No, thank you. Jumper saves it. Adams gets the rebound. Feed all around. Caleb Draper travels off the pass from Bo Rattler. Turnover back to the Mustangs. 18-8 Knights with 1:30 to go here in the first stanza. And an errant pass from Dev Hari, a senior forward. And a little bit of a discussion here with the officials. They're going to say it's Smoky Mountain basketball. So that one a little bit overruled. Jake Beasley seems to agree with it. He's just going to run the defense instead of arguing about it. Spins it back into Seagraves. Stumbles. They're going to say Shope made a little inadvertent contact there as he got cut around. Foul number 2 for Nathaniel Shope. Hari searching for an open player. It's intercepted by Rattler. Nicely done. Brock Adams breaks back up the floor. Two for Adams. That's a nice shot. It jumps right into the bucket. 20-8, Black Knights. Minute to go here in the first quarter. Ball in Jason Whaleyzer's hands at the moment. Back over now to who else but Seagraves. Whaleyzer puts up a long shot. It's going to be off the backboard. Brock Adams takes the gift. Off the glass. Goes for a shot of his own. It comes up a little empty. 35 seconds left. Knights are up 20-8 here in the first quarter. Smoky Mountain has not scored here in the last 3 or 4 minutes of this period. As we mentioned, fans, at halftime, we will crunch numbers. We love to do that. And give you some final stat leaders from tonight's Varsity girls matchup. Robbinsville girls won 56-42. 2 more again from Seagraves, 20-10. And all 10 of those points for the Mustangs have come from the senior guard, Carson Seagraves. Brock Adams trickles up the floor. A little tiptoe action, feeds it over to Bo Rattler for a 3 in the corner. Nothing doing. Rebounded by Wazaler. Long lob at the buzzer by Seagraves, and it's going to come up empty. Robbinsville with a stunning 20-10 first quarter, making an impact here in the early going. We'll step aside on the Grimstar Sports Network. Back live from Robbinsville is 20-10 Black Knights as we begin the inception of quarter number 2 on the Grimstar Sports Network. Three-pointer from Jed West comes up empty. Xander Wachacha gets the rebound. And between himself and Mr. Dane Knott, who's in the game. That's right, the same Dane Knott that scored 24 in the JV game is out here for a quarter. And that is trouble. Rattler comes up with it. Floater. Offensive foul. Quick set by Cameron Fowler does the trick. Fade back around the corner. Number 4, Sawyer Snyder with the ball here on the left side of the perimeter. And he'll eat a foul. Hard into that beautiful new padding. Can't talk about that enough. They've really upgraded this gymnasium since last year. New padding, new paint job, new floor. Thank you very much. Nothing wrong with that. Quinn Jumper was charged with the foul. And the first shot for Sawyer Snyder is successful. That is the first point tonight for Smoky Mountain that did not come from Carson Seagraves. 1 of 2. Rebounded by Jed West. He'll drop it back in for a little cleanup job. Good job by the Mustangs trying to get back into things here. 3 points scored in a burst right there makes it 20-13. Smoky Mountain already in the bonus if they get fouled. There's also that to consider. Low pass by Draper goes to Rattler, but it's intercepted by Jed West. And a fling outside. Quinn Jumper with a nice save. Dane Knott comes up with the steal. Got a few of the freshman players that saw JV action earlier tonight on the bench. Luke Lovin also over there. Isaiah Brown, who is a sophomore, is on the bench as well. Might see him in action later. He's a prolific outside shooter. I'll see who the foul was on. I believe that was Caleb Draper. It was. That is his first of the ball game. And it's the 8th one for Robbinsville. Not sure why they didn't go for the 1-and-1 there, but we'll press on. Number 10 feeds it outside. Number 21, Matthew Brown, fights for it. Wachacha comes up with the steal. It's all said and done. That's his second pick of the night. 5:54 to go. Brock Adams is getting a breather as Wachacha runs the offense at the moment. Dane Knott for 3, and it's going to be in and out. Sawyer Snyder, junior guard, with the pull down. Good move inside. Number 15, Jace Stillwell, gets his first points of the game. 20-15. Fade to Wachacha from Knott. Rebounded by West. So Robbinsville trying the long ball at the moment. Not coming up too successful. Ball's loose. Dive. Draper goes for it, as does our friend from Smoky Mountain, Mr. Stillwell. Last touched, I believe, by Smoky Mountain. No, I'm sorry. It was Robbinsville. My mistake. So it is it's 1-and-1. Okay, we finally got that sorted out. Kind of let that slide a little bit ago. Thought I noticed that the Mustangs were in the bonus. Such a packed gymnasium earlier tonight. A few fans have trickled out of the doorways. It's getting late. It's already a little bit after 8:30 if you're watching this later on in life. Wednesday night action here on the Grimstar Sports Network. Put back by Jed West comes up short and empty. Bo Rattler, Nathaniel Shope, And nobody gets onto it except Tanner Garrity for the Mustangs. Foul called. I believe that's going to go on Dane Knott. That's his first foul of the game, and it comes at exactly the 5-minute mark here in the second quarter. And the basket made by Garrity, that's his first of the game, of course. Makes it 20-16. Robbinsville went ahead 20-10 in the first quarter. Smoky Mountain has now scored 6 in a row to draw this one ever so close. Last touched by the Mustangs. Bo Rattler. With the inbound win, we finally get things settled. See Dane Knott's parents, Warren and Shannon, watching from the other end of the gym up top, keeping a close eye on the prospect. Number 21, that's Matthew Brown, just went flying into Dev Hari. Hari seems to be A-OK. Great action here tonight in Robbinsville in the season opener. Don't forget, fans, Robbinsville's next game is Friday at Natahala, and there will be girls and boys varsity only action that night. We will not be telecasting that game. Instead, we'll join you next Tuesday as Robbinsville welcomes the Highlanders from Jackson County, Macon County, I beg your pardon, here to Robbinsville. That will be, I believe, all 4 games going on as well, both JVs and varsity. We'll double check that. And we'll get a telecast set up as quick as we can so you can go ahead and secure your access to that game. Shope floats in hard. Makes the basket off the Brock Adams assist. Boy, has Nathaniel Shope been a bright spot for Robbinsville here in the first half or what? Holy cow. Shope misses. On the foul shot. Feed for 3. Off the front of the rim and almost out of bounds. Scooped up by Garrity. Nice work. How about Seagraves cleaning up the trash again? Hello, Seagraves making an impact. 4 minutes to go. 22-18. And that is a hard knock on the floor. Boy, Adams really collided hard with Matthew Brown, and he is not getting up. And if you're a Robbinsville fan, that is not good to see. Adams is up now, gingerly as it may be. He'll shake it off. Jake Beasley will call a timeout. That's the first of the game. 22-18, Robbinsville will step aside on the Graham Star Sports Network. Back with you, fans, from Robbinsville High School, 22-18 in favor of Robbinsville. Hard lick on the floor. 3-point shot, nothing doing. How about Dane Knott coming down with the rebound? They'll give it back to point guard Bryce Adams. So a steal and a board tonight for Dane Knott. Not feed to Brock Adams at the top of the key. Quick, speedy defense of the Mustangs says otherwise. Here's Wachacha. He gets inside, flings it away. Knott tries to get to it, can't get there in time. Knott's a little slow to it, and Wachacha can't get back on defense. He's a little ginger on his feet at the moment. 2 points for Matthew Brown, and it's a 2-point game. Travel called on Robbinsville. Wachacha is still not doing good. He's going to have to come off the floor, I believe, fans. He's coming up, hate to use the expression lame, but he's coming up a little bit lame at the moment. Draper will check in to fill the void. Jed West running offense at the moment. Rebound, a steal, beg your pardon, by Bo Rattler. Flying up the floor. Pass is broken up, and it's getting physical out there, folks. Travel as well on this end. 22-20. 2:48 to go in the half. As we mentioned, fans, will come up with you at halftime, and we'll crunch some numbers from that varsity girls game. Let you know some of the final stat leaders. We always like to give out the top three for the Robbinsville team. That's Trammell had a big night, but I don't want to announce point total. I'm quadruple short of it. Right, passes all around for Robbinsville. Not air mails a three, though. Last touch by Smoky Mountain. Appreciate our dear friend over here to my left, Montana Buchanan, doing a great job tonight with the camera work. Appreciate all of you fans tuning in and enjoying the season opener for basketball. They'll carry us through the winter. 3-point shot will miss. Long ball not been very effective tonight. I think this one's been made, and that was Mr. Wachacha for Robbinsville. Rebounded by West. Foul called. And Brock Adams rung up for his second foul of the game. First shot made by Jed West. And it has slowly become a 1-point ball game. Smoky Mountain has quietly, it seems, went on an 11-2 run here in the second quarter. And we're tied up, fans. 22 all. Knott stepped all over the line somewhere. Turnover to Smoky Mountain. Nice spin move. Nothing doing. Quinn Jumper pulls down the board. Emperor's first rebound of the game. And foul called. I believe on the Mustangs. That was on Tanner Garrity. And it is bonus time, so it will be 1-1. That's Garrity's second foul of the game. Minute 32 to go here in the first half. We're all knotted up, fans, at 22 apiece, both teams in the bonus. Things are about as even as they can be right now. Smoky Mountain on an improbable 12-2 run here in the second quarter after Robbinsville opened up a 20-10 lead. Well, that's how you erase that kind of deficit. Adams misses his first. That's all she wrote. Break up the floor by Sawyer Snyder. Three-pointer for Jed West, and the Mustangs take the lead. Jumper inside with a floater. Nothing doing. Rebounded by Matthew Brown for the Mustangs. Here's Jed West. Inside for two. Brock Adams gladly snags his second rebound of the night. Tries to go coast to coast and does so. Big basket for senior Brock Adams. Knights still down by 1, however, 46 seconds to go. Loose ball. And the whistle blows it dead. It'll be Smoky Mountain basketball. And looks like Knott's going to come in for Wachacha, he got looked at for a moment there by our trainer and is now collapsed in a heap over in front of the Lady Knights locker room area. Hope he's all right. Trainer's coming back to check on him right now. An offensive foul ends that possession for the Mustangs. Brock Adams works his way up the floor. 30 seconds to go in the half. Adams trying to make something happen. Three-pointer for Rattlers off the side of the rim. Intercepted by Shope. Foul called. Shope tumbles hard. And it will be a two-shot foul. Carson Seagraves is charged with the wrongful act. His first foul of the game. Double bonus time for both teams. Shope misses his first. 19.4 left on the clock. So the best they can do at the moment is tie it. And Shope will get the bucket. That ties it. 25-25. Garrity all the way around the world. Breaks loose. Feed inside for 2. And Bo Rattler with a rebound at the buzzer. But we're going to end exactly how we started. It's a tie, folks. 25-25 stalemate. Stay with us here on the Gramstar Sports Network. Back in just a few minutes with some halftime stat leaders as well as final stat leaders from the Varsity Girls matchup. Back live with you fans from Robbinsville High School. We're wobbling and everything here during halftime. It is 25-25 on the Gramstar Sports Network. We'll give you some quick updates, fans. As we mentioned, it's tied, and here's our halftime leaders for the Black Knights. Brock Adams at the break has 8 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal. Nathaniel Shope also with 8 points and a couple of boards. Xander Wachacha, 5 points, 2 steals, 1 assist, and a rebound. And, of course, we mentioned we would mention our final stat leaders from the Varsity Girls game. Again, the Lady Knights started the season with a 56-42 victory over the Lady Mustangs. All told, Desta Trammell tonight, 26 points, 6 assists, 5 steals, 2 rebounds. Freshman Abby Ware, after leading the JV Lady Knights, has 8 points, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, and 1 assist in her varsity debut. Kinsley Phillips finished the game with 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals. So Desta Trammell, after tonight's game, has bumped up her career point total to 1,235. We'll keep a tally on that as much as we can this season. We're about a minute and a half away. Mustangs are back out from the locker room. Marvinsville is not. And we'll see how everything plays out in the second half. And it's 25-25 tie on the Gramstar Sports Network. All right, fans, welcome back. It's time for the second half of play, and we're starting right where we began. It is a 25-25 tie as we begin the third quarter. Good to have you with us on the Gramstar Sports Network. Kevin Hensley and Montana Buckhannon, as was pronounced in some parts of this county, with you for tonight's telecast of Black Knights basketball. This is the nightcap season opener for Robbinsville against Smoky Mountain. How about a tray for Xander Wachacha to give the quick advantage and begin things here tonight. Passes all around here for the Mustangs, trying to figure out a way to penetrate. They finally get around the left side. Bump Brock Adams on the way. Matthew Brown gets a basket. And that's going to make it a 1-point game again. Robbinsville led 20-10 after the first quarter. And Smoky Mountain in response put together a 15-5 second quarter to tie it all back up. And Chacha to get his footing. Sprints nearly into the locker room area of the Lady Knights. Jed West feeds it outside. Good pass to Matthew Brown for 3. And it's back-to-back buckets for Mr. Brown. Smoky Mountain ahead by 2. Quick 5-point burst here in the third quarter. Here's Wachacha feed outside to Bo Rattler. And a 3 of his own. Rattler finally nails one from outside. Robbinsville back ahead. I'm sensing a seesaw battle. And that ball is rebounded, lost, last touched by Robbinsville. High feed in to Jay Stillwell. He'll reel it in, no problemo. Brown jumps, feeds, ducks, shirks, maneuvers, whatever word you want to use. He's got 7 points here in the third quarter. Mustangs lead 32-31, 6:16 to go. Bo Rattler can't find an open player. Finds Shope finally, low pass on the block to Bryce Adams. Block is successful, no contact. Shope cleans it up. Wachacha to the top. So Adams will head around to the left side here as a shooting guard at the moment. Wachacha back out. 3 for Wachacha as he shoots. Foul, but not called. Rebounded by Seagraves. Brown up the floor. Here's a chunk to the right side. Stillwell comes up empty. Push on the Mustangs. Jed West. Nay. He is called on a foul. 5:34 to go. Mr. West with his first foul of the game. Robbinsville ball. Brock Adams flies by Seagraves. Puts up a jumper. And it comes up empty. Shope tries to save it. Can't do so. There's Jay Stillwell. Passes it over to Seagraves. Shope steals it away. And my under double team pressure is called for a travel. Holy smokes. Not my job to say anything about the officiating. I'll be quiet. You can say whatever you want at home. They can't hear you. Graves on the three-pointer comes up empty. Mad tussle. Junk ball of the century. You got 2 Mustangs and 2 Knights fighting it out. Possession stays with Smoky Mountain. Substitution. Seagraves off. Snyder in the game. High feed. There's Matthew Brown. Snyder for 3. Drains it. No doubter from the junior guard. 4-point lead for the Mustangs, but that will not stay safe for long. This game's been a back-and-forth battle ever since the end of the first quarter. Shope for 2, misses it off of Brock Adams' feed. Knights are struggling tonight on shots, easy shots. This game could be totally different. Bryce Adams with a nice pull down on the board. His second of the night. Wachacha inside, feeds to Bo Rattler for 3 again. Off front of the rim. Mad tussle. Adams' putback will be no good. He gets the board and nothing else. Good eye, Phil Presley right there on it. Last touch by Smoky Mountain. And it is Black Knights basketball. Few substitutions coming in for Smoky Mountain. On the floor of note is Tanner Garrity, senior guard, who you see running into the frame to guard Bo Rattler. We've never had, well, I won't say never. It's been a long time since we've had November basketball in Graham County. And there's one very simple reason. Robbinsville is still usually playing football at this time of year and has not had time to prepare for a basketball season. So they normally just postpone and reschedule the games. What a breakup by Brock Adams. That's the way to cough that ball up. Good work. Good hustle. But the Knights unfortunately fell in the third round of the state playoffs on the Friday before Thanksgiving. And it's the first time they've exited the playoffs that early since 2016 when they lost to Mitchell. Brown, who's got hot outside all of a sudden. That's the guy you want shooting at the moment. He's doing everything for Smoky Mountain here at the moment. Give the assist to Sawyer Snyder. 7-point lead for the Mustangs. 13-6 run here in the third quarter. Ball is stolen by Jed West. And on the act of thievery, he lays a low basket pass to Garrity, who can't grab it. It goes screaming over to the visitor steps to the upper deck. Bleachers not pulled out for this one tonight. You don't see that too often here at Robbinsville unless we have a capacity crowd here. Rattler doesn't find an open player. 5 seconds tick off the clock. And it's turnover. Smoky Mountain ball under their basket. 3:12 to go here in the third quarter. 7-point Mustang lead. They've scored double digits in each of their quarters so far. Robbinsville scored 20 in the first and have split 5 and 6 across the second and third. Brown again. He cannot be tamed. Robbinsville quickly needs to reshuffle their game plan about Mr. Brown. Robbinsville now down by 10. Feed inside. Bryce Adams can't finish the layup. And head coach Jake Beasley is not happy over on the bench at the moment. Knights are crumbling here in the third quarter. Foul called. Foul called, I believe, on Bo Rattler. That's his first of the night. Second of the half for Robbinsville. Low pass feed to Garrity. Rebound effort winner, Robbinsville. And how about a foul for Stillwell? I believe that is his third of the night. And it is 2:35 to go. Robbinsville down 40 to 31. I beg your pardon. I guess that last basket for Smoky Mountain was only for 2 for Mr. Brown. Travel will end that progress. Looked like 3. It was thrown up on the scoreboard as a 3, and then they changed it. Officials had to correct that. I guess he was right on the line. Nonetheless, there's no doubting Matthew Brown has sparked the Mustangs in relief. He was not even a starter tonight. If I'm the Mustangs, I'm thinking we might change that up for the next outing. Adams is waylaid, trying to go into the basket. Bumped aside, throws his shot off just enough. And the astute Miranda Buchanan had to duck out of the way at the last moment. You see her over there shooting photos in the corner. Brock Adams still ends up going nowhere, but the inbound may pay off. We'll see. Wachacha feeds around to the right side, dives back in. Nice footwork from the junior guard, Zender Wachacha with 2. And that's Robbinsville's first points here in a while, unfortunately. So that's going to make it. 40 to 33, rebounded by Jumper. Feed in to Bryce Adams. He'll get the bucket. And Robbinsville's piecing together some momentum. 40-35, your score. Ball stolen. Wachacha breaks up the floor. Feed last second to Quinn Jumper. Blocked decisively by Jed West. Knights continue to hold on to the basketball. Wachacha now with 3 steals tonight. as they've trimmed the deficit to 5. Foul called. Things finally starting to go Robbinsville's way late here in the third segment. And Bryce Adams is tying his shoe over here off screen. Third foul of the game was called on Jed West. Don't forget, fans, as we mentioned, our season-long sponsors, we thank them very much. Blevins Insurance and Blevins Electric, helping make these telecasts possible every single night. For all you Black Knight fans, also to consider our friends with Lovin Contracting and Coy Adams Timber Company, who've helped us out along the way this year. We appreciate their sponsorship very, very much. Wachacha comes down with the rebound off the errant shot, the deflection. Here's Quinn jumper for 3. Almost hits it. Brown with the rebound. Garrity quick feed to Sawyer. Snyder for 2. Timeout called. I believe, nope, I stand corrected. Brock Adams got bumped in the nose. That actually is going to be a 2-point shot for Snyder there. So 42-35. And Adams will take a breather. Wachacha will run point. Adams' nose is busted open, I believe, fans. He'll have to take a moment to convalesce. Luke Lovin in the game, freshman for Robbinsville. When jumper, low fade to Bryce Adams. He's bumped in every which way, trying to get to the basket, and a foul will be called as a result. The foul was charged to Matthew Brown. That's his third of the night. 13 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Bryce Adams makes his first of 2. 6-point ball game. Smoky Mountain 42, Robbinsville 36. And yes, fans, we have not forgotten our promise to you. We will have our enhanced telecast going very, very soon. We'll work out a lot of bugs this year that we were not anticipating running into. And for that, as the editor of the newspaper, I deeply apologize. But we will have that rolling out soon. We'll have the scoreboard on the screen for you at all times. Hopefully a quarter update as well. Able to throw up some graphics for our sponsors. 1 second to go. They ring up Luke Lovin for his first ever varsity foul. Thank you very much. Lovin had 10 points earlier tonight for the JV Black Knights in their 51-47 loss. Garrity hits the second. That's probably going to be all that we get done. Good breakup by Seagraves. Seagraves and Brown have been the shining stars for these Mustangs tonight, and they've pulled away from a 20-10 deficit to a 43-37 lead. We'll go to the fourth with that advantage. Brock Adams has but one airway at the moment, fans, as we come back to you live right below us. He's going to take the inbound looking like he's come off the wrestling mat instead of the basketball court. A couple of plugs. And onward we go. 43-37. Smoky Mountain in the lead. Mustangs outscored Robbinsville 18-12 in the third quarter. Bryce Adams takes the high feed. Junk ball. Took a moment to ring it up, but it's called nonetheless. Turnover to Smoky Mountain. Robbinsville, as we mentioned, fans, will play at Natahala on Friday night. Tip-off at 6 o'clock if you want to make the short trek over to Macon County. Girls action followed by the boys. We will not have that game here on Grand Star Sports. We will instead have our next telecast on Tuesday, December 6th. Robbinsville Highlands squaring off here at Graham County's only high school. And we'll go live with varsity action as soon as we can. We always pencil in 6 o'clock as the start time. But as we saw earlier tonight, when the games drag out, we can get started as late as 6:30 sometimes. Just be patient with us, fans. If you make your purchase, we appreciate your business. We will be live at some point. Matthew Brown with a quick feed around to the Left side, Cameron Fowler back over to Jed West for three. That long ball has paid dividends for the Mustangs here in the second half. Not so much for Robbinsville, unfortunately, but there's still a lot of game to be played. Wachacha is blocked almost. Boy, I'm telling you what. Cameron Fowler not having that call. And neither are the Mustang faithful right here below us. 46-37, Wachacha to the line. And the junior makes his first shot. It's now an 8-point deficit. Second one in and out. Jed West with the rebound. Score holds. Smoky Mountain 46, Robbinsville 38. 6:56 to go. Quick passes inside. Jed West with a bucket. 10-point advantage again. On the floor right now for Robbinsville, Quinn Jumper, Bo Rattler, Brock Adams, Nathaniel Chopin, Alexander Wachacha, and Carson Seagraves. Didn't look like he made any contact, but again, not for us to say. And it is bonus time, so it will be a 1-1 for Xander Wachacha. And Wachacha, it is a bonus, so 1-1, he makes it. Gets another shot at it. And he goes 2 for 2 on the freebies. 48-40, timeout called. Back in just a moment. Welcome back, all you faithful Black Knight or Mustang fans, to Robbinsville High School. Kevin Hensley and Montana Buchanan with you for tonight's telecast. This is our opening broadcast of Robbinsville Athletics and the winter season. First of many we hope to bring you basketball action on the Graham Star Sports Network. Quinn Jumper come down with that errant shot. 3 rebounds tonight for the sophomore call-up. Shope inside. Wachacha didn't see him, I don't believe. Don't know how he missed him. He's 8 foot tall. And he just showed wide. There's a layup for Shope off of the Wachacha assist. Quick put up. Rebounded by Garrity. And we got a tussle. Rattler and Seagraves get entangled. It's a 6-point ball game with 5:50 to go. About a foul being called on Bo Rattler. That's actually his 4th of the game, so he's got to be careful. Xander Wachacha still favoring that right knee, ankle. He's been shaken up with that about half the night. Walks off the floor under his own power. That's good to see. The extremely capable Ann Smallwood will check him over. Our wonderful trainer here at Robbinsville High School. We were hoping for a wrestling update, tell you what the dual score was for the Knights and the Panthers action over at the elementary school. We've not heard from anyone yet. We'll post an update on social media as soon as we can. Quick fade inside. Hey. What a surprise. Matthew Brown with a bucket. 50-42. Foul called. 1-1 is going to be the favor. Stand corrected, that was 3 fouls on Mr. Rattler a moment ago. That was the 3rd foul on Matthew Brown, however, for sure, with 5:32 left in regulation. Shope misses his first, so that's all we'll get out of it. Low basket pass to Brown, back around the top of the horn. Tries to, Rattler comes down with a hard steal, and they're going to call a travel. He couldn't get the ball gone in time. Back to the Mustangs. And we're set to go now. Had a player checking in. Throw in a little soon. Travel called on Garrity. And the Robbinsville fans erupt over that call. Rattler will be challenged with the throw-in. Gets to Brock Adams. 5:15 to go. Still a good crowd on hand tonight as we dwindle near 9:30 Eastern time. Not worrying about our fans in Kansas. I'm sure they're still wide awake. Carson Seagraves with a fast break up the floor. Feeds over to Fowler. Foul call. Garrity down. And Jimmy Cleveland had some choice words for the official that didn't call that shove that a Robbinsville player may or may not have just done. Adams across half court. Sprints, jumps, off. Garrity wins the foot race, smacks it over to his teammate. Ball still around and around and around. Brock Adams gets it back and drives in for the transition basket. 50-44. Knights are still in it, fans, as they're only down by 6. An even 7-7 split. Boy, the Smoky Mountain faithful are having a field day here in the last few minutes of this game. Rattler's going to throw the ball in. Brock Adams will work his way up the floor. Quite a swing here in the ball game. Robbinsville started on a 20-10 run, and the Mustangs tied it up at halftime, pulled ahead in the third on a 18-12 segment, and have held the lead ever since. Ball stepped out of bounds. Turnover to the Mustangs. Cameron Fowler inbounds it to Jed West. The Mustangs are junior and senior heavy. Just 2 sophomores and a freshman on the roster. The rest of them are upperclassmen. Steals a plenty. Nathaniel Shope finally tames the wild ball. And Shope with a steal. How about 3 for Brock Adams trying to make something happen? Nothing doing. Rebounded by Fowler. Low pass to Seagrave behind his back. Jed West drives in. Shope lets it go out. Good call. 3:35 to go. Still a 6-point game. As for the latest updates from and around Graham County, North Carolina, be sure to follow us on social media. We have 4 different platforms for you to choose from. We're not a Snapchatting newspaper, nor do we tick and talk. But we do have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Be sure to give us a follow for the latest updates from and around Graham County, North Carolina. Bryce Adams' bucket will make it a 4-point game, 2:57 to go. Rebounded by Mr. Adams. Quick fades with Chacha for three. It's going to be off the rim. And eventually rebounded by the Mustangs. Jed West. Fowler inside. Seagraves coughs it up. Bo Rattler ran the interference to do so. Good pressure. Timeout called. A full 60-second break by the Mustangs. Back in just a moment. .230 to go. It's 50-46 in favor of the visitors from Silva, the 3A Smoky Mountain Mustangs. We hope all of you fans have enjoyed tonight's telecast. We'll do our very best to enhance it in the future. Bryce Adams on his backside rings up a timeout. So it's like it's going to be a 30-second. Adams trying to avoid the walking call. Wisely calls for a quick break. We're not even going to turn the mic off this time, fans. We're just going to go ahead and remind you once more. After this game ends, we'll do our very best to crunch the stats as fast as we can and send you home with some final numbers from this boys matchup for Robbinsville anyhow. We'll have all the full recap, of course, in next week's edition of the Graham Star, the December 8th edition, as a matter of fact. Some awesome shots from Miranda Buchanan, I'm sure, will be forthcoming to help pad out the story. Appreciate all that she does to help us afloat with our photographs of sports. If we don't broadcast, we're normally able to whip out our camera and take pictures. Miranda Buchanan's been a lifesaver for us this year, so we can continue to bring you all these wonderful streams of Knights athletics. Brock Adams on the fast break. Buzz up a jumper. And it's off. Rebounded by Smoky Mountain. And that is trouble. Snyder under heavy pressure by Dane Knott. Finally gets free from it. As we dip under the 2-minute mark, it's still 4 points, fans, 50-46. And the Mustangs just trying to play keep away at this point. Here's Fowler. Back over to the side to Sawyer Snyder. Back across the floor. It's going to be a foot race. Shope dove as hard as he could for it. Defensive pressure will not cause a backcourt, I beg your pardon. Rebounded off the shot, though. Knights basketball, minute 28 to go. Adams drives in. Layup is wide, and we have a 15-car pileup under the net. Everybody's good. Bryce Adams got the worst of it, and we might have to wipe the floor. There was about 5 bodies laying there. Looked like a crash out here on Corridor K. Oh, wait, that's in the future. Sorry. It's been in the future since 1965, folks. Visit Robbinsville here pretty soon, and you'll see they're actually doing headway on it now. A lot of clearing out here on 143 over the last couple of weeks. Very excited to see the expansion of that highway here in the next few years. I have a wonderful land bridge up at Stokoa Gap. Very popular intersection on the Appalachian Trail. And Smoky Mountain, after all that, is going to call another timeout. Action still underway. 50-46. Scores holding here on the Graham Star Sports Network. 1:24 to go. The score's held for well over a minute. And after a heavy pile-up under the net and a timeout, both teams seem to have regathered their bearings. 1:24 left. Adams inbounds to Adams, back to Adams. That's Bryce to Brock, Brock to Bryce. Yeah, I think I got that right. Brock searches. Wachacha's open at the top of the key for three. Nothing. Oh, my word. What a hard foul. Holy smokes. Boy, Adams, who had to step in, by the way, earlier this season as our quarterback for the football team, took a hard lick. No pass to protect him here. And that is the end of the night for the main gun tonight for Smoky Mountains offense. Matthew Brown walks off the floor. It is 5 fouls. They'll have to get another body in. It'll be Jay Stillwell coming in to relieve him. Brown has been dominant since checking into the game. But his night is ended after a 5th foul. Bryce Adams will go to the charity stripe. It is 1-1. Adams needed a breather anyway. He's a little shaken up after that hard fall. Can't make the foul shot. Lane violation either way. Smoky Mountain basketball. 1:08 to go here in the fourth quarter. Mustangs ball. Remember, folks, it's just 2 possessions. It's just 4 points, and there's still a minute to go. Stolen. Senior Brock Adams shirks around everybody for a bucket. 2-point game, 52 seconds left. Nice work. Shope with the steal, and Brock Adams just weaves through heavy traffic to get the job done. And they're going to play keep away, fans. Don't be fooled. Mustangs are not willing to cough this one up so easily. And it will be a foul with 29.9 left on the clock. The foul is on Robbinsville, of course. Mr. Brock Adams with 3 fouls now. And at the charity stripe for the Mustangs, Sawyer Snyder. Snyder's shot's in and out. Still a 2-point game. Rebounded by Bryce Adams. Bo Redler with the ball. The fans erupt. Here's Bryce across half court. Driving in. Feed to Shope. Blocked. Foul called. And Shope is fired up. Holy cow. 20 seconds to go. The foul was on Jace Stillwell. That's his 4th of the game. So Bryce Adams rebound. Shope will go to the foul line with a chance. It's double bonus time to tie this game. And he makes his first. Bryce Adams now is 1 shot away from knotting this one up. Hey, free basketball's not off the table yet. And Montana wanted Mexican earlier. Come on. We're tied, folks. 50-50. Jake Beasley calls a timeout. The fans erupt. It's getting exciting in here, folks. Stay with us on the Gramstar Sports Network. It was 25-25 at halftime. It is 50-50 literally right now on the Grand Star Sports Network. 20 seconds to go in our season opener. What is it about Robbinsville and late game heroics, fans? If you ever watch our telecast here at boys basketball, they seem to provide a lot of heart attacks and a lot of thrills down the stretch. And everybody in this gym is on pins and needles as we are tied. Student section for Robbinsville in full chant at the moment. Jed West trying to find out the player. And they get across half court. Good call by Jimmy Cleveland to call a timeout with 11.1 on the clock. We're still tied 50-50. 11.1 on the clock. Jimmy Cleveland's drawn up a play for the Mustangs. Let's see what they can do. We are tied at 50-50 on the Grand Star Sports Network. High chunk to Jed West. 6 seconds. Mustangs got to do something. Drive in by Carson Seagraves. He drew a foul with 1.4 to go. And if you're a Robbinsville player, that is not what you wanted to see. Great work by Seagraves to draw the infraction. And he misses the first. The foul, by the way, fans, was actually charged to Nathaniel Shope. That was his fourth of the game. And Seagraves is in a clutch position here. This could be the game winner. Fans are trying to do everything to disrupt that. And it's out. And we're going to overtime, folks. 50-50. And we're never getting out of here. We're right back where we started. As we go to overtime, stay with us. It is a 4-minute segment, in case you're wondering, in high school basketball. We'll have another tip-off here in just a moment on the Grand Star Sports Network. Well, folks, there's no two ways about it. To quote a very popular movie, we're down to a battle of wits. Now, who exactly has the poison in their cup is still to be determined. But we're looking at 4 more minutes of basketball free of charge on the Grand Star Sports Network. We aim to please here in our season opener. 50-50 is the deadlock at the moment for the Mustangs and the Black Knights. Brock Adams with tries to pick off the interception. Bo Rattler done his darndest, but couldn't get control of the ball. Mustangs get it back. There's another one for Bo Rattler, senior layup. And that's 2 on the transition bucket for Bo Rattler. He now has 5 points tonight after hitting a 3-pointer in the third quarter. .3:14 left in overtime. Puts up a shot. Fouled on it. Nathaniel Shope is going to the showers. That's his 5th foul, unfortunately. And the student section to our bottom left expresses their sincere displeasure with the turn of events. But onward we go. Shope's had a great ball game here in his varsity debut as he jogs off. And Quinn Jumper comes in to relieve him. Snyder misses his first foul shot. right off the front of the bucket. 3:08 left. Xander Wachacha and Tanner Garrity have dropped back. And we got a little 4-on-4 at the basket right now. In and out. Jumper with the rebound. Knights still up by 2. 4 rebounds tonight for sophomore Quinn Jumper. Brock Adams is looking to run a play. Nose plugs are gone. Whoa, baby. Big collision between Adams and Snyder. Wachacha with 3 has pulled away Robbinsville by 5. Ball goes loose. Knights basketball. Folks, to say the very least, the Mustangs are rattled at the moment. An assist to Bryce Adams a moment ago. It'll be the inbound right next to the Smoky Mountain bench for Bo Rattler. Adams picks it off. Garrity takes a free seat on the bench. Feed. Jumper. Nobody there to stop him. He gets a bucket. Knights are on a 7-0 run here in overtime. 57-50. Three-point attempt by the Mustangs. Nothing doing. Jed West with the rebound. Ball goes out. Robbinsville basketball. 2:13 to go, and the Knights are coming to life here in overtime. Bryce Adams up the floor. Quinn Jumper. Low feed to Bo Rattler. Ball smacked away. Rattler holds on. Wachacha at the top. Thought about a shot. Changes his mind. Changes direction. Feeds Bo on the left side. High pass. That's trouble. Adams gets it. 2 players down for the Mustangs. And a body block is called. I believe that'll be on Carson Seagraves. And if I'm keeping my check correctly, that may be his 4th, I believe, for the night. No, it's his 3rd. My mistake. 1:48 to go. Brock Adams to the foul line. And that one dances all around the world, but just like my love life, comes up a little bit short. And the second one misses as well out front of the rim, rebounded by Sawyer Snyder. Mustangs have got to make some magic happen here quick. They're down by 7 with 1:42 left in overtime. Jace Stillwell scans his options, finds an inside pass to Snyder, back out to Stillwell. Check out, that was Seagraves. Stillwell with the ball, now my mistake. Seagraves now with it, comes around the left side into the paint. Floats over Quinn Jumper, pass off, rebounded by Jumper. Knights basketball, 1:19 to go. And if you think the Knights are going to do anything but play keep away, you are sadly mistaken. Stillwell Angel may have just fouled out of the game. I believe that would be his 5th. With 1:13 to go. So 2 Mustangs have fouled out in this one. And the only one to foul out so far for Robbinsville is Nathaniel Shope. There's Dev Hari, I beg your pardon, back in the game, one of the starters. Knights have shut out the Mustangs here in overtime, putting up 7 thrilling points. Make that 8. Brock Adams makes his first of 2. 58-50. Two for 2. Nice doing all they can to add insurance and keep this 9-0 run going here in overtime. 3-pointer, no good. West right there for the putback. He gets it, and that trims it to 7 for the Mustangs. 55 seconds left. Hari fouls Bo Rattler. You have to foul right now if you're the Mustangs to have any prayer of a victory. But the Knights have been so suffocating here in overtime. Mustangs have been rattled, pardon the pun, for Bo Rattler at the line. And Rattler makes his first. Robbinsville 60, Smoky Mountain 52. We have 55 seconds left here in overtime. And Rattler goes 2 for 2, 61-52. 53 seconds to go. Three-pointer for West. Hits the top of the basket. That's an immediate turnover. They will deem that out of bounds any day of the week. And the Mustang faithful right here below us have been silenced by this 11-2 overtime from Robbinsville. Xander Wachacha gingerly jogs back to the foul line. Foul is on Sawyer Snyder, his second of the game. Boy, Robbinsville looked rough, fans, in the first half after going up 20-10. A 15-5 second quarter went in favor of Smoky Mountain. It was tied, and the Mustangs led by 6 going into the fourth quarter. The Knights outpaced them 13-7. Some excellent defense. And Xander Wachacha goes 1 of 2. And it's a 10-point lead for Robbinsville here in overtime. And an errant foul by Brock Adams draws the light-hearted ire of some of his classmates over here in our student section. I believe that's Brock's 4th foul of the night. We'll see what they punch it up as here in a second. Carson Seagraves makes his first. Actually, the foul, I stand corrected. The foul was on Quinn Jumper. Seagraves hits both his foul shots, but it's academic now. Robbinsville up by 8 with 32 seconds to go, and a quick foul. Good work by Snyder to break up the floor and slow down Wachacha. He's got some fouls he can burn if he needs to. It's only his. Well, now it's his 4th. I thought he had 3. My mistake. 32 seconds left. It is 3. Wachacha makes his first. And his second. Boy, some clutch shooting down the stretch here for Xander Wachacha. 3-pointers off, and it's rebounded by Brock Adams. Foul immediately on the floor. And I think Sawyer Snyder just fouled himself out of the... Nope, he's up to 4 now. It's getting late, fans. I apologize. We'll get it right in a minute. Brock Adams will trot back to the line and try it again. And the fans are slowly trickling out of the gym to our right, as the Knights have this one wrapped up well in hand. Brock Adams misses both his foul shots. Mustangs are trying everything they can to get back in this one. Hari with a really quick rebound. Step out by Jed West. Misses that one as well. West to Hari for 3. Off as well. Snyder for 2. Misses as well. Bryce Adams. They gave him every chance in the book, fans. Robbinsville is 1-0 to start the season. An overtime victory, 64-54. And that's going to feel oh so sweet if you're a Black Knight. And fans, we welcome you to join us next Tuesday. We'll be back on the air with you as the Black Knights welcome Highlands here in Robbinsville for Montana Buchanan, toughing out overtime. She didn't make it. She barely made it. She's still with us. That's a good sign. She's still on her feet. This is Kevin Hensley. Have a good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next Tuesday.